Look away for a second, and the entire National Football League drastically changes. The craziest part, free agency technically has not started yet. It starts on March 11th. We're currently in the legal tampering period, and so much has happened. Let's hop in. The toughest part of all of this is where do we even begin? Let's start here. This is the most recent news. This was 11 minutes ago as I'm recording this, and you're seeing it the same day. Tua Tagovailoa to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I have been a certified Tua Tagovailoa defender pretty much my entire time on YouTube, and that's never looked very good for me. Here's one thing I'll say. Clearly wasn't working out in Miami. Clearly he was very talented at Alabama. I don't know what's going to happen with Tua. But it does shock me that Atlanta Falcons are doing this because one thing I've always thought about the Falcons is they just have this weird quarterback theory thing going on. They overpaid Kirk Cousins. That felt pretty obvious. He was a little bit too old and, at least I thought, not good enough at the time when they paid him that much money. He was solid on the Vikings, and I love Kirk Cousins because he's a Spartan, but I thought that was weird. And then they go draft Michael Penix, who's one of the oldest quarterbacks in the class, and they had just paid Kirk Cousins, which didn't make a whole lot of sense. And now you go out and get Tua Tagovailoa? It's so weird to me. It's honestly so weird to me. I mean, they've got two lefty mobile quarterbacks, though, with Michael Penix and Tua. Someone said, chill, we're tanking for Jeremiah Smith. Honestly, not a bad strategy. He is a surefire talent in the National Football League. I can't wait to see where Jeremiah Smith goes. When he realizes next week, he's going to be so sad. 28-3 incoming. They love left-handed quarterbacks. Retirement coming soon. Low-key a good move for them. Let's see what people have to say about this. I guess nothing really. 6-11. Welcome back, Michael Vick. 1 year, not more, please. Saw a Falcons fan at the Leaning Tower of Pisa fall to their knees. So, I don't know. This one is interesting. Explain this in Fortnite terms. This guy said when you open a supply drop and get a suppressed pistol. Peely was sent away from Salty Shores and went to Junk Junction. This is so fucking stupid. It is kind of a cursed image. Tua Tagovailoa to the Falcons. We'll see how that pans out. Another thing to keep in mind with free agency is a lot of times the team will sign somebody because they are planning to trade or cut somebody else. And sometimes I make these videos and I'm like, why would they do this? Because of X, Y, and Z. And then 2 days later, you understand why. So I always try to take that with a grain of salt. Honestly, I think the biggest thing, by far, is Max Crosby, Baltimore Ravens. There will be a lot more crazy stuff that happens, but it's going to be pretty hard to top this. Max Crosby is undoubtedly one of the best defensive talents in the National Football League, and now he's a Baltimore Raven. And then this other guy says, see my boy Monty in a Texans jersey just breaks my heart. We're going to see that very soon. Oh, wait, these are all the biggest moves in this slide, so we're really going to see all of them. So Max Crosby to the Ravens, Mike Evans to the San Francisco 49ers, Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, DJ Moore to the Bills, Malik Willis to the Dolphins, David Montgomery to the Texans. I am sad about that too. And Michael Pittman Jr. to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's crank this back. Let's crank hog back to this and talk about it. Max Crosby, Ravens. They gave up 2 first-round picks for this. I think one thing as like time goes on and we look back in history at the NFL, we're going to forget how good the Ravens have been. Because the Ravens have not had postseason success, like serious postseason success in the last 5 years. Like they didn't make the Super Bowl, and they certainly didn't win it because they didn't make it. We're going to forget how fucking good those teams were. Lamar has been amazing. The Ravens rosters have been amazing. The defenses have been amazing. I think mainly they've been lacking a true superstar wide receiver one. But honestly, they just ran into the Chiefs too many times in the playoffs, and the Chiefs have been so dominant. It's kind of crazy how good those Ravens teams have been, and they'll get lost to history. I think this was an amazing move for the Ravens. They're still amazing. You got Harbaugh out. I don't know if that's good or bad. It remains to be seen, but you certainly still have the core of what makes the Baltimore Ravens amazing. You have Lamar Jackson, who plays MVP caliber football every season. He really just does. Derrick Henry is a god. Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs of all time. Max Crosby could go down as one of the best edge rushers of all time. You've got Kyle Hamilton in the secondary, who's great. They always have a good defense in Baltimore. Their offensive line is solid, not perfect. Dude, this team is actually so good. I really hope that this is the final push that Baltimore needs to go to the Super Bowl. If there's one team I want to go to the Super Bowl, it's not Detroit. It's probably Baltimore, and then it's Buffalo. 2 first-round picks is a lot, though. If Baltimore fails to have postseason success with this core of players, they are in for a few really tough years if they can't get it done. And it'll just be a gigantic what-if. But I think it's a great signing. And Las Vegas gets 2 first-round picks. Las Vegas was never going to do shit with Max Crosby. Congratulations, you have an awesome player. Your whole team is trash. You're never going to do anything. You might as well trade him, get capital, and actually tank rebuild. I think it was very smart. Now they're going to get Fernando Mendoza. That seems almost guaranteed. And once they get Fernando Mendoza, then you really can start the rebuild. Now you've got all these extra first-round picks. You probably still won't be good in your first year with Mendoza. Mike Evans to the San Francisco 49ers. So 49ers had this weird dispute thing going on with Brandon Ayuk. Remains to be seen where Brandon Ayuk's going to end up unless he's already found a landing spot when you're watching this. But I like this. I think Mike Evans doesn't have that many great years left. It's kind of weird that he's not a Buccaneer. He's been a Buccaneer like his entire career. So it's weird to see him in any other team's jersey. Like, this is going to take a while for my brain to fully process. But this is like a journeyman thing. I get it. I think it's fun. It'll be fun to watch him play for a new team. I think he'll do well with Brock Purdy. I think he'll do well on the Niners. And I'm kind of interested to see what his fantasy value ends up being. I always think of fantasy value when you see these trades. It was kind of clear in Tampa Bay that Emeka Egbuka, Chris Godwin, those guys were like, Mike Evans, he was injured for a good part of the season, but he's kind of the bona fide wide receiver one in San Fran. I don't know who else would. I guess they have Juwan Jennings. They still have Ricky Pearsall. There's no way Ayuk is staying with that team. There's literally no way. This is fucking crazy. This is crazy. Here's my take on this, and I actually want to go find the original slide for it so we can look at the comments. So, Kenneth Walker to the Kansas City Chiefs. Someone says he won't be the same on the Chiefs, and it has a ton of likes. Why does he have hair? Yeah, he is bald as fuck. Why does he have hair in this? Cursed image. Do we think Pacheco is gone while y'all put hair on? I mean, he looks good with the lineup. They probably pulled one of his Michigan State photos to make this. Sorry, y'all, I tried signing him. They have no defense, and K9 is bald. So, first thing I want to talk about, my fat ass face is covering it, so let me take this down. Very, very favorable deal for Kenneth Walker. Now, Kenneth Walker just won Super Bowl MVP, so obviously you have to put some respect on his name, and I think he's incredible, of course. 3-year, $45 million max, $29 million guaranteed. Now you're asking yourself, why do the Seattle Seahawks? This guy just won Super Bowl MVP. How does Seattle let this guy walk away? You know what I think, to be totally honest with you? And if you watched all regular season, Kenneth Walker was not a bell cow. Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet damn near had a 50-50 rep split, and it kind of felt like Zach Charbonnet was actually the goal line back. Like, Kenneth Walker was not getting the touchdowns that he would normally get, and the only reason that Kenneth Walker popped off in the way he did at the end of this season is because Zach Charbonnet got injured. Now, that's not to say that Kenneth Walker was ever bad. He wasn't. He was incredible always, but Seattle just clearly did not give a fuck about paying a running back a shit ton of money. I think before the postseason, Seattle decided already, we are not going to re-sign Kenneth Walker for what he's going to want, and then Kenneth Walker had a crazy postseason and a crazy Super Bowl, and his price went way up. Like, way, way up. To the tune of $29 million fully guaranteed, $45 million max for a running back. And as you take a look at this graphic, he was already slated to be a free agent going into the end of this season. It was almost like this was already, in my head, this was already decided. But I do think for Seattle fans and Seattle ownership, they were probably like, damn, Kenneth Walker really did pop off. Like, should we try to make this happen? I think Kansas City's on the other end of the spectrum where it just feels like Kansas City hasn't had a serious, legitimate playmaking running back. Feels like it's been a long time. Can you remember last time, like, you were super geeked up about a Chiefs running back? I mean, Isaiah Pacheco definitely showed flashes of being really solid. I mean, they had Damian Williams. They had, I actually couldn't tell you. I guess Kareem Hunt was pretty solid on the Kansas City Chiefs. Jamal Charles is the most recent name that comes to mind, and that was like 2012. But you take a look at this. Insane that the Seahawks didn't try and get him back. It kind of reminds me, ironically, of Sam Darnold. It's like Sam Darnold had that amazing season, and then Minnesota wasn't able to get him back. 22,000 likes. They did, and he wanted more than we were gonna give him. Yeah, I mean, it's actually, ironically, literally the Sam Darnold situation. Sam Darnold's awesome on Minnesota, way better than projected. Now his price went up, and Minnesota just literally can't afford to get the dude back. Seattle ends up in the same boat here. He only played great in the Super Bowl is dumb as shit. That is so not true. It's just like, if you look at the box score, you probably wouldn't think that Kenneth Walker's that good. Like, if you looked at his regular season stats, because he's sharing snaps. It's the running back position is simply a volume position. I think this is I think this makes sense all around, though. I don't think Seattle could afford this. If Seattle paid him $45 million max, $29 million guaranteed, I would have said it was stupid. I would have said that. This makes sense to me. I'm excited for Kansas City. I'm excited to see how he does here. I think Chiefs are going to be excited. Bro, if you got fantasy football Kenneth Walker in Dynasty Fantasy Football was like, meh. Kenneth Walker now? Oh my God. I'm so excited to see where he goes on draft boards in fantasy football. Biblical levels of greed in Kansas City. Last thing that needed to happen. How do they keep getting away with this? Insane fumble. What are the Seahawks doing? Hey, Seahawks, I'd like a word with the manager. The league just fell to their knees in Walmart. How do you trade the Super Bowl MVP? Got his ring and dipped. The streets are not happy about this. We can certainly say that one. Let's see what they're saying about 49ers signing Mike Evans. The whole NFC West is going band for band. They're saying that because the Rams did some crazy shit too. The NFC West, there are actually a few divisions in football right now that are so ass, and then there's a few divisions that are just unbelievably stacked. And the NFC West is one of them. I think the AFC North with this Max Crosby signing, you know who's going to be in fucking piss at all times? Joe Burrow. You've got Myles Garrett twice a year, Max Crosby twice a year, TJ Watt twice a year. Joe Burrow is in piss. That shit is going to suck. Hey, on Chiefs offense on this one, he is bald. He is accurately bald in this one. Okay, I could very easily get bogged down talking about some of this stuff, so let's try to move along here with a little more pace. Danielle Hunter extended by the Texans. Great call. He was amazing. He played great. Bears releasing Tremaine Edmonds. I can't believe they released him. He's only 19 years old. Damn. I actually don't understand football well enough to know why they would do this because I thought Tremaine Edmonds was great. I think I'd need someone a little bit smarter than me that understands this better to understand why they would release him. This person replied by saying the Bears are doing this because they're freeing up cap space for something big. That's the thing. I mean, maybe they have some big plan in the works that I don't understand, but I really like Tremaine Edmonds, and I'm a little confused about that. Cam Curl gets extended. I like him a lot. That was the good extension. Dolphins released Alec Ingold. There are so few true fullbacks left in the league, so this was kind of sad to see. What has this guy done? That's offensive as fuck. Genuinely offensive. Texans release Joe Mixon. This is one of those things where if, like, you know, now that we know David Montgomery's in Houston, it's like, okay, this kind of makes sense. Joe Mixon was really, really weird. Joe Mixon had some weird foot injury. No one could figure out what it was. This guy commented, can't believe this guy got shot in the foot and lied to the Texans. That's not what happened, right? This is fake news. I guess you could say he shot himself in the foot. Nice. Nice. The crazy thing is there still is just some confusion about what happened with Joe Mixon. Because I never understood. They were always like, oh, he's got a foot injury, but he's just going to play. He's just going to play. It was like everybody was lying to us about Joe Mixon. Even from this own NFL.com, article right here, Mixon's placement on the non-football injury list to start training camp for the 25 season stopped any carryover momentum. It became evident something was more seriously amiss toward the end of the preseason, and he ultimately never came off the NFL list, leaving the Texans to navigate their most recent run to the playoffs with Woody Marks and Nick Chubb. Texans, this is an original article from the start of the season. Texans running back Joe Mixon expected to miss time week 1 in jeopardy. He's expected to be out for an extended period of time with a foot injury. If you really want to speculate, you can go to Reddit. This Redditor said, honestly, I find the rumors that he injured himself from a non-football activity, plus he had an unsanctioned procedure to be plausible. What we do know is that the team and people around Mixon have done a damn good job of keeping whatever went on private. Seriously. This is like professional PR team with Joe Mixon. The fact that I currently have no clue what happened and Joe Mixon missed an entire season of football is crazy. Apparently, the story goes that Mixon was working with a private trainer, got injured, attempted to fix it without consulting the team, developed issues with blood supply, and had a setback. What's still unclear is the exact timeline. Definitely weird. Definitely weird for the Texans. I don't know what's going to happen with Joe Mixon now. Drew Dahlman retired, so the Bears went and picked up Garrett Bradbury. The Bears clearly are dead set on having a great offensive line, and I think that's a great idea. Here's when Max Crosby went down. Lamar, this is your year. Can we have a moment of silence for Joe Burrow? Burrow, yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. Joe Burrow is literally in piss. Packers trade for Zaire Franklin. Not a super flashy, well-talked-about one, but I think this was a really good trade. Look, Alec Ingold already got picked up. He got picked up by the Chargers. I love that. This is so Harbaugh. This is so Jim Harbaugh to go out and get a fullback. This dude and Amari and Hampton, I think, are set up. Well, maybe not Ingold, obviously, but Amari and Hampton, I think, is set up for a really good fantasy year. He was already pretty solid, and I think he's gonna put up some serious stuff. The Raiders trade for Taron Johnson. Interesting, working on the D-line. Or sorry, working on the defense. Jets trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Minkah Fitzpatrick has been on an interesting bounce around piece of his career recently. For a bag of chips. This is kind of crazy though. Whoa. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to take my face cam off or maybe just move it here, but Dolphins trading Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Jets in exchange for a 2026 7th round pick? That's it? I mean, I will say to some extent, I'm like kind of a casual, and I think of Minkah as a really good player because he's like good in Madden. But I actually couldn't tell you how good Minkah was last year. I didn't watch enough Dolphins games to possibly tell you how good Minkah was. I do feel like he's worth more than a 7th round pick, though. It literally is a bag. That was a crazy trade. Bro was traded for Jalen Ramsey last offseason. Now he's worth a 7th. Yeah, that is wild. Dude's getting traded to prison for a 7th. The Jets actually fleece someone. Dude, the Jets are honestly on a tear. I really like what the Jets are doing. They're not going to be good next year, but I like what they're doing. Dolphins receive backwash. Bro's situation went from bad to worse. Cowboys traded for Rashawn Gary. Interesting. Cowboys D-line is actually looking decent. Now they need some corners. So the Cowboys now have Quinnen Williams and Rashawn Gary. As a Packers fan, thank goodness Packers are going to be trash next year. I don't know about that. The Packers and Cowboys have each other on speed dial. Yeah, they're always looking to make a move, apparently. I don't know what's going on with that. Kelsey's expected to return. Cool, I had eggs for breakfast. What about y'all? Colts extend Alec Pierce. Good call. Patriots get Draymond Jones. Your favorite player's favorite player. Can he play wide receiver for real? Because they released Diggs. Patriots released Diggs. Rams signed Jalen Watson. Panthers signed Jalen Phillips. I did not see this one coming. I thought Jalen Phillips was going to stay in Philadelphia. I felt like he was a really good fit there. But look at how much they paid him. Jalen Phillips, 4 years, $120 million. Is he worth that? Panthers fans, you're going to have to help me out because I don't know if Jalen Phillips is worth that. Maybe he is. As a Panthers fan, you got to sometimes overpay since you aren't a popular free agent destination. That's certainly true. This is certainly true in all major sports. Nobody wants to go to Detroit. Nobody wants to go to Carolina. Nobody wants to go to Cincinnati. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland. So you do kind of have to overpay, but still, it remains to be seen. I'm not going to judge on this yet. I want to see how Jalen Phillips plays, but that just feels like a lot. Feels like a lot of schmeckles for Jalen Phillips. Steelers trading for Michael Pittman Jr. So they re-sign Alec Pierce. Steelers go out and get Michael Pittman. I don't think Michael Pittman is the best long-term play for Pittsburgh, but they desperately need another wide receiver over there, and I really like Michael Pittman Jr. So NFL graphics designer is on overdrive right now. That guy is working his ass off. As a Steelers fan, I wanted Ayuk, but I can't lie, this move might be better. It honestly probably is better because Ayuk has been, because we just don't know. He's such a wild card right now. This guy's saying Ayuk is past his years. I don't think Ayuk is past his years. I just think something weird is going on that we don't understand. I still think Ayuk is good. I think if Ayuk ends up anywhere, he's going to still be really good, so long as he actually wants to play football. Dolphins released Tua and signed Malik Willis. Malik Willis's price definitely went up this year because in the games that he did play for Green Bay, he was shockingly good. He was a lot better, I think, than people expected. Malik Willis was like one of the few quarterbacks to come out of that class 2 or 3 years ago. The class that had Will Levis in it. Wasn't a very strong quarterback class, but didn't do much on the Titans. Solid backup for the Packers. I actually really like this. I really like this for Miami. I think Malik Willis could actually be kind of good. Pro Football Focus is engagement farming, and it's pissing me the fuck off. Shut up. Shut up, intern. Shut up, Pro Football Focus intern. Suck my dick and or balls. Already the best free agency of the 2020s. Free agency hasn't even started. It literally hasn't started. It literally hasn't started. Giants sign Isaiah Likely. I like this. Whoa. Instagram was not built for the computer, I can tell you that. Holy shit. I'm literally behind. There's so much stuff going on. Titans sign Mitch Trubisky. It's probably the biggest news of all the free agency. Step aside, Cam Ward. The Titans savior is here. Didn't need to post this? Bro, what do you mean didn't need to post this? You never know when a Cinderella story is going to happen, bro. Jets signed Demario Davis. I'm honestly so impressed Demario Davis still plays football at high level. That man is old. But a 2-year, $22 million deal. At least you can say the Jets are attempting to make moves. From Saints to Jets, this dude can't get it worse. They really want that INT going all in on defense. Buccaneers signed Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell, absolute sleeper running back. I freaking love Kenneth Gainwell. Wherever he lands, I will be a fan of. This guy is such a dog. I love him. This one did make me sad. I really liked Alex Anzalone. Really liked Alex Anzalone on the Lions, and I'm kind of disappointed in this. I think either Anzalone did not want to be a Detroit Lion, or Because this is just not a big deal. 2 years, $17 million. You're telling me we couldn't pay Anzalone 2 years, $17 million? Now, I got to give a cry. I know Alex Anzalone is a family man, and if I was a family man, I would take my ass to Tampa a hell of a lot faster than I took my ass to Detroit. I'm not even a family man, and I literally moved out of Detroit because it sucks ass. So I technically get it if that's the case, but I'm sad that the Lions weren't able to re-sign here. I think but he's supposed to be a lion. That's why he looks like a lion. One of the most underrated linebackers in the league. Bucks cooked here. Lions are slowly going back to being a poverty franchise. I kind of agree, but the one that we haven't talked about yet, that's Lions. And the reason we haven't talked about it yet, because this was like really early. This is one of the earliest things that happened, was David Montgomery to the Texans. This happened like during the Combine. This was one of the earliest things. This was actually over a week ago. Super sad. I love David Montgomery. I love this guy. I've done more videos with David Montgomery than I have with any other Lions player. So I actually loved that he was a Lion, and now he's on the Texans. But let me say, I kind of agree with this. Just saw a Lions fan fall to his knees at a local Little Caesars. Sonic and Knuckles, 0 gold rings together. Shut the fuck up. Engagement farming DraftKings Sportsbook. Suck my dick. Literally, fuck you. Congrats to Gibbs for being 101 in fantasy next year. Yeah, I mean, if we don't end up grabbing another big-time running back, Jahmyr Gibbs is in for a hell of a workload. Gibbs might have the greatest fantasy season of all time. I'm absolutely sick. We miss you already. Okay, we have 2 running backs on the team. Jahmyr Gibbs is clearly our RB1. David Montgomery is RB 1.5, I guess you'd call it. He's not the backup. He's just a different style of running back. I understand that we couldn't get this deal done, though. I mean, we couldn't retain Anzalone for 2 years, 17 mil. How were we going to pay David Montgomery what he thought he was worth? On top of that, we were able to get a 4th-round pick and a 7th-round pick and Juice Scruggs. Juice Scruggs is a former 2nd-round pick. He really wasn't that good on the Texans. I don't think he's really 2nd-round pick caliber. But if you can't retain the guy and you can get this out of the trade, I actually kind of like it. I don't like to ever say that about a Lions player that I'm a big fan of. Same with Anzalone. Like, it sucks ass that we lose either of them, but I like a lot what we got out of this. You don't get shit for running backs in this league. You do not get shit for running backs in this league. A 4th, a 7th, and an O lineman, that's quite favorable. I think it was a solid trade if we were not able to retain him. Bills trading for DJ Moore. Bills had a dog shit wide receiver room. I thought the 2 teams that needed a wide receiver more than anybody was the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they went out and they got DJ Moore, and the Steelers got Michael Pittman. The Bears get a 2026 2nd-round pick in exchange for DJ Moore and a 5th-round pick. It's honestly very favorable for the Bills. I think this is really good. I think DJ Moore is still nasty. I think he's got a lot of life. I think he's going to love playing with Josh Allen. And there was a pick swap. And they get a 5th-round pick. So hopefully they can secure something out of that. 2nd round is relatively expensive for DJ Moore. But we got a wide receiver in Buffalo. Josh Allen finally got a wide receiver. Bears fans can't have anything nice for long. Here's the thing, though. The Bears have Luther Burden. The Bears have Romo Dunze. The Bears have Colston Loveland. They didn't need 3 awesome wide receivers and a good tight. They didn't need all of it. And they got Cole Kmet. I think the Bears, when they saw how well Luther Burden was playing, and they've known that they've had Romo Dunze, I think they were like, let's extract some value out of DJ Moore. And I think that was the right call. Bills still haven't found their wide receiver 1. You're smoking dick if you don't think DJ Moore is nasty, bro. DJ Moore is wide receiver 1. Just saw a man fall on his knees in a Portillo's. This must be a Chicago thing or a Buffalo thing. I don't have that kind of culture. I don't know what the fuck that is. Portillo's, unrivaled Chicago street food. Guys, I need some help on this. Is this Portillo's or Portillo's? Because Hispanics would say tortilla, and I'd say tortilla. Is it really Portillo's, though? We're just getting started, though, dude. And to be honest, Seattle lost a lot of players. Seattle won the Super Bowl. Awesome. They lost a lot of players. They lose Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs. They lose Kobe Bryant to the Chicago Bears. And they lost Boye Mafe. We'll talk about that in a second. The Lions lose Amick Robertson. I don't know. What are we gearing up for exactly? Because we didn't even make the fucking playoffs last year. So why are we clearing out Amick Robertson, Alex Anzalone, David Montgomery? There's either a big play in the works or truly the Lions are back to being a poverty franchise. Lions letting everyone walk and not signing anyone. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Amick Robertson, so it is what it is. He goes to the Commanders. Lions signed Cade Mays. Guys, we got a center. Brad actually did something. Thank you, Bradley Holmes. Very cool. Jets signed Joseph Asai from the Cincinnati Bengals. Jets are making a very serious push. Very serious free agency for the Jets. Linderbaum goes to the Raiders. I'm so used to Linderbaum being a Raven. This one's going to take some time to get used to. 3 years, $81 million with $60 million guaranteed. Isn't the National Football League so funny? I mean, most people who watch the NFL, like if you're a big fan, you know who Tyler Linderbaum is. But almost every casual does not know who this guy is. Every girl that you know does not know who Tyler Linderbaum is. Kenneth Walker just won Super Bowl MVP. And he had a $45 million maximum deal. Linderbaum is guaranteed $60 million. I just think it's so funny how, like, some dude that casuals have never heard of is getting $80 million, while, like, your favorite player is getting $10 million a year. Cardinals get Tyler Algier. Excited to see what Atlanta does for their backup, for their handicap or handcuff to Bijan Robinson. Because there's a lot of running backs in the league who are used to having this true backup. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson. And now they don't have their guy. Bijan, you're now my elite employee. Same with Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's used to having Charbonnet. Now he's in Kansas City. This is one hell of a week. Saints signed Travis Etienne. What the fuck is the word I'm looking for? I am surprised that Jacksonville let him walk. Big ass deal, though. 4-year, $52 million deal, and it does bring up a good question. Who's going to draft Jeremiah Love? Jeremiah Love is so good. Jeremiah Love is the best running back in the upcoming class, probably the most talented player in the upcoming class, in my opinion, across all positions. Jeremiah Love's a freak. I kind of thought he'd go to Kansas City. Probably not with Kenneth Walker. Kind of thought he might go to the Saints. Probably not with Travis Etienne. I really don't know who's supposed to draft him now. Titans gone get Wan'Dale Robinson, low-key a sleeper. I like Wan'Dale Robinson a lot. What will the Titans do with them? I don't know. Raiders get Jalen Naylor, Michigan State University alumni. Definitely a slept-on wide receiver. Also mega slept on because the Vikings, not only do they have J.J. McCarthy this year, who really did not play well, but they also have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. So he's just kind of like, he's just forgotten about. But I do like this for the Raiders. Jalen Naylor's nice. Jalen Naylor's really nice. Saints get David Edwards. 49ers got Mike Evans. We talked about that. Steelers get Jamel Dean. Nothing too crazy. Bears get Devin Bush. I like Devin Bush. Falcons get Jahan Dotson. I think Jahan Dotson has been passed around. Was he Commanders, Eagles, now to the Falcons? I mean, he's good. Atlanta's a poverty franchise. Just free Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Go be great, Jahan. From a bird to another bird. I like it. Browns get Zion Johnson. Nice little O-line pickup. Titans get John Franklin Myers. It's kind of interesting to see the same teams over and over and see some teams never. I haven't seen the Lions sign outside of Cade Mays damn near anybody. And I feel like I'm seeing Titans a lot. We're seeing Chargers again. They get Charlie Kohlers, the backup tight end for the Ravens, right? 3-year, $24 million deal. He got Kenneth Walker money. Yeah, and they also lost Isaiah Likely to the Giants. Who the hell is the tight end for the Ravens? Just Mark Andrews? We lost the best center, 2 tight ends, one of the best punters. Lamar's taking forever to redo his deal, and this is the effect. It is absolutely BS. Well, I don't want to hear you bitch because you got Max Crosby. So, leg my balls. Giants signed Tremaine Edmonds. Gonna miss him, man. It's Chicago. Titans are on a roll. Titans and the Giants are going band for band. As a Giants fan in Tennessee, this is cinema. Cordell Flott. Bengals signed Brian Cook. Titans, oh my God, the Titans are going nuts in free agency. Alante Taylor. Broncos re-signed Dobbins. I don't think that's particularly big. Neither is Mariota re-signing with the Commanders. This is nice. Commanders signed Odafe Owe. Wow, so the Ravens lost him too. What? Commanders signed pass rusher Odafe Owe to a 4-year, $100 million deal with $68 million guaranteed. What? I kind of agree with this. I'm mad that we lost him. Or no, Odafe Owe was on the Chargers, right? He was Ravens originally, then he was Chargers. Either way, I don't know anybody that would pay this. Wow. Out of the $100 million deal contract, beating, injure, anything, he's guaranteed $68 no matter what. He gets $100 million if he plays all 4 years. He's getting $68 no matter what if he never plays a snap. That's insane. And then, yeah, and then the Seahawks lose Boye Mafe, too, to the Bengals. Bengals signing defensive players before GTA 6. Bengals realizing they have to help Joe Burrow and not allow 40 points per game. Good call. Yeah, the Seattle lost So they lost a lot. And even, wow, guys, this is in the time span that I've literally just been recording this. The Commanders re-signed Laramie Tunzel. The Raiders signed, wow, the Raiders are making moves too. Raiders are cooking. It may seem like an overpay, but you have to overpay to get people to play for Las Vegas. They're rebuilding well off this Max thing. They're already better. I don't know that I'd say they're already better. I don't know if I agree with that, but Kwity Paye, I like to pick up. You're clearly going to draft Mendoza. You've got Genty. You've got Brock Bowers. I do like what the Raiders are doing. They made the right call. Holy shit. That was a lot of yapping, gentlemen. Obviously, the biggest move to me is Max Crosby. So excited to see Mike Evans' fantasy value in San Francisco. Kenneth Walker should have serious value in Kansas City. I think he's going to be a nice fantasy running back. DJ Moore on the Bills is going to be a nasty fantasy wide receiver. I actually really like this. I don't want to get weird with it, but I really like Malik Willis to the Miami Dolphins. I've always thought he's better than he's, I guess, talked up to be. Demo to the Texans is going to be a bell cow, big time. Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers, I don't know. I mean, it remains to be seen what they're going to do with Rodgers in the quarterback room on how impactful this is. But that's it, boys. That was a pretty crazy free agency. Holy shit. Let me remind you real quick that you are incredibly handsome. You are loved, certainly by me and by many others in your life. And just a quick little sentiment. Sometimes, dude, we're all going through just the worst shit ever, and sometimes life can feel incredibly depressing. I just want you to know that your life is worth it. You deserve to see another day. And remember that how you're feeling right now, if you are feeling that way, is not permanent. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And I love you. You're so handsome. You're totally not a complete and total chud. You definitely know how to talk to girls.